Hello, hello, and welcome to another episode of the Conscious Entrepreneur Podcast. Today, I'm joined by the one and only attraction mentor, founder, and creator of Muse, Danielle Nonog.
Awesome. Thanks for
What's up,
having
Dan?
me, Mira.
Of course, just getting my audio settled here.
Mhm.
So exciting to chat. I know you have a gift to give away today for our members who are joining us, but talk to us a little bit of how did you get started with attraction mentorship, and then catchy title, right? From pole to power. Six-figure attraction blueprint. Talk to us, like, what is your story? How did you get here to be sharing the gift of attraction in business and relationships today?
Oh my gosh. I mean, pole to power, that gives a huge context clue, right, to my
Hmm.
story. So, hi guys, I'm Danielle, and I used to work in the exotic dancing industry for 7 years. And the thing is, what got me there in the first place is I was a broke college student. I really needed money. I knew there was something more for myself. And someone introduced me to the lifestyle. I had never thought that I was going to do something like this. I just knew that what I was already doing was painful enough for me to try something different. And I started off as imagine this, I was a tomboy, kind of chubby, and very socially awkward girl. But as I was throwing the wolves and learned how to sell in the club, I sucked horribly in the beginning. I earned $10 on my first night. But thankfully, these people who were teaching me how to refine myself and get better at sales in the club, I learned how to, well, not only take care of myself, they put me to the gym, they taught me how to walk more feminine. Like I didn't really know how to walk on heels. And they we studied sales books and role played together before going into the club.
Hmm.
It's wild. It's like a stripper boot camp in a way.
Hmm.
But yeah, as I got better over time, I became the top earner of the club. I became really good at sales in there. So I learned how to be more feminine. I learned how to stand out among a sea of gorgeous women. And because I was the top earner and I still wanted more for myself, I got into entrepreneurship and hired a coach. I built a coaching business out of helping these women sell better. But the funny thing is when I was selling my coaching services, I never called it sales training. I
Hmm.
called it the art of communication.
Hmm.
So, yeah. And in that, as I was helping women make more money, I had both men and women, men from the club, my regulars, they were asking relationship and dating advice from me. So people were calling me the dating guru at the time. I'm like,
Hmm.
huh, okay, that's interesting. Do I help people with money or do I help people with relationships? So I had an identity crisis for a little while. But after a
Relatable.
while, yeah, I have this recent mentor. She helped me realize, she said, Danielle, you're the attraction mentor. Like you just got to own that. You're great at attraction. And I'm like, okay, that actually makes sense. Because when it comes to relationships and dating, you have to know how to be relational so that you can attract a certain type of person, right? Same thing with business. The way you present yourself, you're going to attract a type of client or a type of, yeah, a type of prospect. So,
Hmm. Absolutely. Super connected. The business, relationships too. Like you're going to attract people, and so I can see how working the poles and having relationships there uh, helps you in understanding how to communicate to people in both aspects in life. And I think a lot of it is also the relationship with self, right? Because wherever
mhm.
you go, there you are. And so, who are your sort of I would actually love to hear some of the success stories. Like, what are some of your students and graduates creating now? Who are they? Are they like mostly men now, women, both, or is it business owners? Like, who are your clients now? What are some of the favorite success stories you've received?
Yeah, my favorite stories is how one dancer, she had this client for 10 years. She's been in the industry for a while, but she had this one client that would regularly spend 6K per month. But since she joined my coaching program, I helped her realize like, girl, this guy is like really willing to invest in like more. Like, don't hold back on what it is that you want. Like, what's going on? And I got her to basically double her revenue. Like, that's one of my
Mm,
favorite stories because oh my gosh, and even deeper thing with that same client, I'm not going to mention her name. She actually found me through someone else's podcast, and she was very inspired with the story and how um, I don't want to go on too many tangents, but when I got into the industry, I was with a dancer pimp. He was kind of like the mentor in how he taught the girls how to hustle.
mhm.
But the reason I bring him up is because when she listened to that story, she shared with me that it inspired her to leave her pimp.
Wow.
That I would say that is what by far my favorite story. And there's a lot of similar stories from other people that are passively watching me share my stories on social media. They would privately message me and tell me how like they've they finally took the courage to leave a toxic relationship and be brave enough to go through a divorce. That was
Mm, that's powerful. What are
yeah.
some of the misconceptions in the industry? I know it's like people have all these ideas about what it's like, and I know it's not what it seems. So, what are some of the common misconceptions, having been at the pole and taking it to the power? Yeah, what are some of those?
Yeah, I would say the biggest misconception is there's an assumption that we want to sleep with everybody. I can see why they think that, but that's not true. The reason why the women are in there is because they want money, But even deeper than that, oh, another misconception is because we do that type of work, uh, we're like bad people, right? But
Hmm.
there are people who I've talked to so many girls who had a similar traumatic event from my life. I would say 90% of the women in that industry have been sexually abused.
Mm,
And so we try to intellectualize it by profiting off of like, hey, I felt horrible when this thing happened to me, but how do I feel good about it? So they capitalize off of it.
mm. So is it like a pain the purpose journey for them too?
Right. Yeah. They were trying to make something out of it?
Hmm. So it's
But
a,
I
it's an action.
found,
Go
oh,
ahead.
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
curious. Is that sense more so in an empowered sense? Is that an empowerment generally
it gives them
speaking in it?
it gives them a different type of empowerment.
Hmm.
Yeah, because it gets them to cope with that pain that they experienced in the past, you know?
Hmm.
But it doesn't last long. I had to go through my own journey and go through my own ego death to notice like that kind of empowerment doesn't really last long.
Mm. What was like the biggest shift that had you make the shift to be, the six-figure attraction mentor, in terms of your internal, I don't know if it's an internal decision or mindset perspective shift. Was it a moment, like a defining moment that shifted things for you?
You know what? It was a series of habits that I took on over time, hiring different mentors and just really committing myself to personal development.
Mm,
There's so many times that I wanted to run away, but it's crazy now that I speak this out loud and thinking about it now. Whenever I hired mentors, especially my very first one, I knew it was going to be scary to move in with her when she offered me to stay in an extra room. But that changed me drastically because I knew I couldn't escape because we have a
mhm,
mentor and mentee relationship. So imagine having to live your life. They're not only teaching you like business, but they're also seeing your personal habits.
mhm,
So like, it was constantly looked at. She was constantly disrupting my patterns.
mm,
So as I was experiencing positive transformation from that, I was addicted to that, rather than being addicted to escaping. Because I was a really good escape artist too. I was
mm.
like the master of making excuses. So,
That's
yes.
hilarious.
So I don't know about that one shift because it doesn't happen overnight. You know what I'm saying? Like it
Hmm.
happens throughout the years to now
Hmm.
I will lean into it instead of running away.
Yeah, that's true. So I think what I'm hearing in that is like the value of feedback loops and being held accountable inside mentorship. right? Having people
Yes.
around you is like almost like iron sharpens iron, where you're receiving you somebody is watching you, somebody cares enough to observe and
Oh
then
my
speak the
gosh.
truth into the stuff that is working and not working, and then having the opportunity to take that in and receive it and transform the way your habits and the way you show up. That consistently over time, just reflecting on my own journey, has been, I think, the biggest growth lever. I think there's nothing like it, because we really can't get different results unless we acknowledge how we're showing up now, what is missing in terms of the next level, and it does take somebody who can express the truth, and do it in a loving and kind, like compassionate way, so we can actually receive it. And I think
Yes.
that's an art in itself in terms of talk
Yes,
about
Miro.
communication, right?
Yeah. I'm glad you
Yeah.
say that. Yeah. Because there's a lot of influencers and gurus out there that have no problem telling the truth, but sometimes people are like, oh, that's like, oh, that's too much right now. But if you have a way of delivering it to where, they can still feel okay, they feel the pain because they need to feel the pain, but then they also feel capable enough to make a change, right? Like you said, there's an art to it.
Mm, that's good. Okay. We have. I know we could talk about this like
Oh, I know.
forever. It goes deep. But I know you have a giveaway. Before you share that, what are like some practical steps for my business owners, my conscious entrepreneurs, to coaches and the healers as well, to get that attraction effect, that magnetism? I know you've got it. So, what do we need to know, right? What are the steps or tools that we can use to stand out? Like, I mean, I love how you said, stand out in a sea of, like, beautiful women. You were able to stand
Yeah.
out in that. Now that's
Mhm.
special. So, what does it take? How?
Yeah. I mean, we were talking about truth, right? It takes
Mm,
being truthful to yourself, first of
hmm.
all. If you can't be truthful to yourself and you find yourself making all kinds of excuses, that within itself is going to block you from moving to the next step. Because I have followed the same three-step framework that I've created when I've coached in different arenas. And what that is step one, I call it the three M's. Step one is magnify. So you want to take a hard look at yourself, the truth. Step two is magnetize. You find what's uniquely sexy about you. Is it the way you talk? Is it the way you look at people? And what are your signature pieces? Like what helps you stand out visually? Because that one same signature piece might not work for another, right? It takes actual research. And I have a way to do that if you actually go
That's
into
amazing.
my attraction weapon session. And then step
So good.
three is monetize. So
Ooh,
we
talk
find a
to me
way to
about
put
that.
you in flow. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Okay, okay. So three M's. So the
Mhm.
first M is magnify.
Magnify. Hmm.
So you look at who a person is, and magnetize. So they're taking the things that make you uniquely sexy. I'm
Yeah.
I'm taking mental notes. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna rewatch the recording too. Um, and then the third M is monetize.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, tell me about some monetization examples.
Well, I will say monetize takes a lot of role playing. I have to feel the energy of the person because every person is unique. And we just really drill it out as far as like, okay, with your attraction archetype, which I'll be talking about later. It's not that I'm like cooking that up right now. I'm going to equip them with their unique seductive archetype and have them use it. And then they're going to use it in the real world. So they do well in sales and they have an exact process in how they can attract. And I just put them in the process of attracting their leads. Yeah, it's basically sales and then close them in their own unique
Awesome.
way.
So good. Okay, so where can I sign up for this attraction weapon session, right?
Yes, yes. So, yeah, we're going to have an attraction session. You can find me on Instagram, Danielle at Danielle Nonog, and on Facebook, also Danielle Nonog, Nonog.
Okay, cool. We'll make sure we add it into the show notes. Thank you so much for your time and your generosity. I know you're sharing your one-on-one attraction session. Is that, no, wait, it's called what is your gift called to the community? What's it
Yeah, so
called?
it's the attraction session.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do an attraction weapon session, but that's a whole nother offer. So yeah, I'm willing to gift an attraction session.
Okay, cool. That's exciting. So I highly recommend everyone who's watching, listening, to jump on an attraction session with Danielle and magnetize, magnify, and
Mhm.
monetize. So good.
Mhm.
So good. Again, thank you so much for your time. It's an honor to be connected to you and continue to learn from you. I didn't know you were hiding all this knowledge from me. I need to get into that. So I need to get into that. So super appreciate it. In the comments, everyone, if you have a takeaway, please share with us and we'll be sharing how to get in touch with Danielle there. And again, thank you so much for your time.
Awesome. Thanks, Miro. This is fun.